everyone. It's a good day.
A happy day!
A very great day to start off a good episode of our podcast.
Ayun. Hi, hello. I'm Angel Kate Diazarcon. Kate for short. And I am here with my host for today.
Hi everyone, my name is Francine Viñas.
And I am Luis Gabriel Praxedes.
And this is Let's G Psychology. New Chapters, Episode 1.
Let's go!
Ayun.
Let's go!
So
Good
yun.
job, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited!
Ako rin po.
Okay.
Finally,
Ako rin.
we have our long-awaited episode of the Let's G Psychology new chapters, everyone. Let's do this.
Yes, let's go.
Alright.
So yun. Ano nga ba yung podcast natin for today?
That's a good question.
Well, actually, maybe Kuya Luis can answer this question.
What if I don't want to?
Ay,
You have to, Kuya.
Ayoko nga.
Ay,
Alam,
Naging brat midway. Nah, I'm kidding. Alright, let me explain to you guys what Let's G Psychology is all about. And probably answer your first question, why did I call this new chapters? Because this, everyone, is chapter 1. And in chapter 1, we will be discussing finding light in darkness. All about overcoming adversity. It's a really empowering topic. And I wish for us to have a nice, deep, meaningful conversation with this. So, fellow hosts, are you ready?
of course.
Sabay.
grabe.
In sync na guys. Oh my gosh.
Ayun, so, without further ado, let's start our episode na. I hope you guys will also watch and listen our episodes on our DPS, Spotify, and YouTube accounts.
Tama. So, yun. So, how have you been, partner, for these past few days? Medyo napagod ba? Exciting ba yung week nyo or month nyo for this very hot day nga naman talaga?
Well, partner, parang hindi na naman nawala yung pagod sa everyday lives
Tama.
natin, 'di ba? Especially since final season na naman, everybody.
Pinaalala
Kamusta
mo pa.
naman po?
Pinaalala
Shout out kuya dun sa mga second years natin with the research. I see you guys. I see you. Grabe, ang dami ko ng G-forms, guys.
Ay, we. Ay, ilan na yung nasalihan mo?
Well, partner, sasali pa naman ako.
Okay.
Sasali
Sige,
pa.
sige. Tama yan. Dapat help, no? Help natin yung mga
Of course.
sidemates natin. Kasi tayo yan next year.
Grabe. Parang medyo scary yung...
Ay, sorry.
May ano eh.
Oo nga eh.
Y'all don't want to look forward to third year, by the way.
Ay,
I feel like this is getting
parang
too dark.
ito yung dark.
I'm getting
Tama.
scared.
I don't think I can see the light.
Pero partner, speaking of light and helping people, ito talaga yung focus ng episode natin right now eh. Kasi, right now, we'll be focusing kasi on various topics about finding light in the darkness, di ba? Kasi, it's inevitable naman for us to feel lost at some points, yung hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng hindi natin nasusunod yung plans natin. There are a lot of unforeseen circumstances talaga eh. Pero, while that's normal, it's also important for us to know how to bounce back, di ba?
Tama. So, yun. Tanong ko nga rin pala sa mga audience. Maybe some of you can relate, some of you may not. Pero, do any of you feel the need to keep an image? Whether it is as a daughter, as a student. Because for me, I consider myself as an academic achiever. So, yun. Can you relate, partners? As an academic achiever?
Definitely.
Maybe not as an academic achiever. I mean, maybe that's a personal situation for my end that academics is not the primary focus. Pero in other situations, there is a time where you have to put a mask.
Yeah,
I think that's very
agree.
common.
Okay.
Elaborate further though, Kate. Ano
Ayun
yung ganap
kasi,
mo?
as a child, I was not really that academically good. Or, my responsibility as a student is not that, parang priority. Hindi ko pa, I don't really care about my grades. But then, when it comes to, humiliation din. Kasi may hindi ako natapos, tas papaintayin ako sa school kasi nga, tatapusin doon. Ayun, very humiliating yun. Then, it comes to junior high school, na nagkaroon ako ng teacher, a very great teacher. Very, parang terror teacher siya nun eh. Ayun yung tawag doon. Pero for me, he's not that terrible or terror at all. He's just, very hard in teaching, very forceful. Hindi naman maling word. parang ano siya, yung engaging siya eh. Yung parang matatakot ka na ano, pero not in a sense na, like, parang ayaw mo na sumagot. Parang gusto mo siya, parang gusto mo maging proud for that teacher, no? Kasi yun yung ano ko eh. And this subject pala, alam ko, very, ano kasi ito eh, very, ano sa akin eh, math subject pa yun.
Ayun tayo.
Ayun
Grabe.
talaga pinaka-ayoko nun. I'm very bad.
Allergic ako dyan,
More
actually.
flashbacks.
Pero yun, during that time, I never expected to be good at math at all until I met that teacher. So yun, for me, my dark is that, ayun nga, dun pala nagsimula yung pagiging academic achiever ko. Kasi at that time, parang tumaas yung grades ko eh. Hindi lang kasi sa math subject, kundi pati sa every subject talaga. Parang naging engaging ako. So yun, baka nakaka-relate din yung iba sa parang a certain person, push them forward to be better, to develop, to grow. So ayun, and although may benefits na nangyari, ayun nga, since naging academic achiever, it's not uncommon for Filipino parents na mag-expect na after that type of situation. I don't know if it's the same for others, but that's what happened to me na, ayun na, nag-expect na yung parents ko na hindi na bababa yung grades ko. And ayun na, doon na nagsimula. Although my growth, ayun na, na-pressure na akong magpatuloy na, you know, keep up the good grades, push myself harder and harder until I memorize certain stuff. Hindi ako pwede masyadong, you know, magsaya. I need to keep my academics, like, on top talaga. And ayun, pagdating ng senior high school, pandemic time. And I don't know, Kuya Luis, feeling ko college ka na nun, no?
Don't make me sound that old.
Grabe.
Ay, sorry.
But yes.
I feel like that was the setup.
Ay, sorry.
Yes.
Pero yun, and during that time, mas harder kasi not only does the parents pressure you, but also your schoolmates na rin eh, since it's hard for everyone rin naman. Pero for those who achieve to be on top, mas mahirap sa kanila kasi certain members are not participating, are not that communicative, and ayun yung naging problema ko rin. And at that time, nahirapan talaga ako. Pero ayun, may mga friends rin kasi ako nun, and they helped me push forward. And at that time, I really gained some new, anong tawag doon, like ways in order to cope with that type of challenge. And at that time, kasi, ayun, leadership, it's my, one of my perks. Oy! Grabe!
Your perks and the curse.
Yes!
It is.
Ayun, during that time, kasi grabe, unang-unang breakdown ko is yung sa research namin ko eh.
Grabe.
Tanda mo ba yun?
The flashbacks are not giving.
Ayun, kinabahan talaga kasi ako nun. Kasi unang-una pa lang eh, at the very start pa yun, like research, ano ba yun, title proposal pa lang. Talagang nag-breakdown ako nun kasi as in lahat ng gawain, parang sa akin na napunta kasi wala na, hindi na sila nakipag-cooperate. Or parang basta-basta na lang yung gawa nila. And you know, as an academic achiever, ang hirap nun. Parang kasi yung maapektuhan yung yung grades mo eh. And maapektuhan rin yung grades ng mga groupmates mo. So yun, finish ko talaga nun. After nun, dun na nangyari. Naging strict na ako in terms of my members and in terms of myself. Dapat in certain time, dapat may deadline, dapat maayos na lahat, organized para hindi na magkakagulo, magka-jumble-jumble yung mga schedule, yung mga gagawin. Tapos ayun, dun na. After that, it keeps on, growing and growing. Parang, it's slowly pulling me out of the darkness na. Ayun yung naging light ko, no? To be short na lang, it's, the light in my darkness is a certain person, the teacher, and myself, you know. By having that experience, I learned to cope with myself, no? With advices from my friends, pero mostly talaga from myself talaga yun. So, makaka-relate din ba kayo doon?
I would like to ask a question, actually. So, can you say na yung experiences mo, the ones that you consider as the dark in your finding light and darkness, is that something that you would classify as negative or positive?
We can't really, avoid that kind. So, I don't think it's that negative.
Okay.
Because bad experience, you can learn from it kasi. So, it's not that bad as to say, because you can grow from it. So I don't think for me it's not a negative way, but it's like an experience,
I
a
see.
test, ganon.
Ano kasi, like, most people aren't as lucky as you
Tama.
to realize that the obstacles in front of them are actually there to help you get up into higher
Yes.
places.
Tama.
But I'm glad that you realize na yung mga struggles na yon, they're just a means for you to find a way to get yourself into a greater feat. And ayun, na-improve mo yung sarili mo. And I'm very
So
proud
good.
of you for that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like nagiging bad experience lang naman siya or negative experience if you take that instance and you choose to not learn from it.
Tama.
Ganun, doon lang siya nagiging mali eh.
That makes sense.
Kasi all of our mistakes, those are not like blockages on our doors. They're simply new stepping stones. Siguro
Tama.
hindi natin in-expect na yun yung way na madadaanan natin or yun yung way na ipe-present sa atin. Pero it's still the path that we have, and we also still have the choice to make the most of it.
What a great way to say, no? A stepping stone. Tama
Stepping
yun.
stone.
In
So,
just a
yun.
few minutes, naging inspirational speakers.
Tama.
Motivational
My
speakers.
words of wisdom.
Kaya nga.
So, yun. Ikaw
Relax.
naman, partner, what's your experience in that type of, you know,
Well, sa akin kasi partner, I relate dun sa part ng sinabi mo na at first, hindi ka naman talaga like an academic achiever. Yung parang, you know, casual lang, kung pumasa, di pumasa, goods lang. Kasi dati talaga, parang mas focused pa ako sa mas focused pa ako in making sure na I have time to play outside. Yung ganon. I do what I can, I finish what I can, pero I don't pay it much mind kasi ang focus ko talaga, you know, I need to have fun, yung ganon. Pero, there was a certain point kasi sa akin, for me, it happened in 6th grade. Kasi, ayun nga, di ba, elementary years, casual lang, chill lang. And then, when I was in 6th grade, I heard na the honor students would go up the stage with their parents. And ako kasi as the only child of a single mother, parang dun nag-click sa akin. Parang I feel like that was the yung main point talaga na nag-shift yung focus ko. Na parang, alright, maybe I didn't do my best in the past years, but this time I will make sure na I do something for my mother. Like that. So at that point, you know, I really studied hard, and actually parang na-shock ko din yung sarili ko na, hala, kaya ko pala to. Like, grabe,
Tama.
gumagana pala yung utak ko sa ganon.
Very
But, ayun. So, fortunately, nakasama naman ako sa top noon. So, I had medals and all that. Pero, with that shift, also came like a cloud of darkness na unti-unti lang siyang pumapasok sa buhay ko at that time. So parang hindi ko pa siya masyadong napapansin until the sun was gone. Yung dark clouds na lang talaga. Kasi with my new shift na parang yung may nagagawa na, yung naiisip na ng iba na, kaya niya to. Ito yung bagong level niya, ito yung bagong peak niya. With that, syempre, came the expectations. Na since nagawa mo to, kung kaya mo to, dapat hanggang ngayon, hanggang bukas, hanggang next year, hanggang matapos lahat, dapat kaya mo pa din.
Consistency,
Diba?
ha?
Right? It's the consistency that comes with the expectations of other people who don't really know or who don't want to know the process of how you got there. They only care about how the result looks. And sa akin, I think that was really one of the darkest things, especially since, ayun nga, diba, I'm the only child of a single mother. So, may expectations din na that comes with like the family dynamics, diba? Kasi in our house, wala naman talagang external pressure from my mother. Pero when I look at the difference between, kunyari, my family and the family of my friends or those that I see in movies or any media depictions, I can see na sa isang family, for it to have a stable foundation, there needs to be like 2 pillars at least. Kasi kung isa lang talaga yun, the balance the balance shifts, di ba? There are certain things that get lost in the focus, ganon. So for me, kahit hindi naman talaga ako like required or hindi naman ako pinipressure, I felt the need to take that challenge upon myself. So it was more like my childhood was, you know, ako kasi lumaki din ako with adults eh. So eldest child, eldest cousin. So may expectation na alam mo yun, baka makaka-relate yung listeners natin. Yung yung quote na pinaka narinig ko the most was, "Oh my God, you're so mature for your age." Yung ganon, di ba? You're so mature. Ang galing mo na. Alam mo na agad yan. Kaya mo na agad intindihin. Yung ganon. And for me, syempre, when it comes to that, dun kasi parang na-trigger yung hyper-independence ko. That's the thing. Yung hyper-independence, yung parang nasanay na ako na I can only look at myself for help. Ganon. So, at some point, parang naging nakakatakot na din to ask for help from others. Kasi parang naiisip ko, what if they look at this as a sign of weakness? What if this is the cause of me losing another the validation of others? Ayun talaga eh. Kasi nakakatakot na maka-disappoint ng ibang tao.
I agree.
But the thing is, in my journey of self-actualization, I realized na the only person I should be scared of disappointing is myself.
Repeat that for the class.
I know.
Let me get this mic closer to you real quick.
I really need everybody to hear this. Everyone at the back. The only person that you need to be afraid of disappointing is yourself. Alright? Yung expectations kasi ng ibang tao, it won't amount to anything. Kasi kung sino ka, ikaw lang naman nakakaalam nun eh. 'Di ba? And for me kasi, it's like the girl I was yesterday or last month or 5 years ago, yung little girl na yon, she's my competition but she's not my enemy. And for me, I really want to share that perspective with others. Your past versions of yourself, you can look at them as your competition pero hindi nyo sila kalaban. Competition nyo siya in the sense na you are aware of the things that they've done, all of the wrong choices that they've made, and you can use that to build yourself up in the present sense, you know. Pero hindi nyo siya kalaban. Hindi nyo siya like kailangan burahin from your memory kasi that girl did the best that she could do with what she had at the moment. And you know, ako kasi, even though I can see the like my shortcomings, my wrongdoings in the past, I'm proud of that little girl. Kasi you know, she really came a long way. So I figured if I could be proud of that little girl in the past, then I could be proud of who I am in the present tense, 'di ba? So ayun. In the darkness of relying on external validation, my light came from myself. But yung light na yun kasi, hindi lang naman siya biglang, like, nag-appear lang bigla. So, for me, importante din talaga yung pagkakaroon ng solid support system, especially sa friends. Kasi, at first, yung hyper-independence ko, it's like, it got scary to talk to other people, but I realized na, asking for help does not make me weak, ganon. Kasi, I read this quote once na parang, humans were made to be a burden. 'Di ba? We are made to be a burden. We are made to be helped by others. We are made to be, be someone that another person opens the door for, another person that someone cooks for, yung ganon. We are made to be a burden, pero hindi kasi siya burden in the sense na we have to be alone all the time. We are made to be a burden kasi as humans, we need other people to survive. Ganon. So, ayun. I guess I can say that my, the clouds have somehow gone away kasi the light of, myself and my friends have also shined through?
I'm gonna add something lang kasi.
Mm.
So, you've said that you've been hyper-independent because of that certain experiences of your... So, ayun naman. In contrast kasi, ikwento ko na lang rin, I think that I'm being too dependent rin kasi. Just a short background, younger sister kasi ako. There is only 2 of us. So, I have an older brother and I'm the youngest one. So, ayun, since kasi nung child ako, I'm not, yung parang hindi ako gala. Laging strict yung parents ko when it comes to paglabas and paggala. Lagi talagang, hanggang junior high school actually eh. Hanggang grade 9, naghahatid sundo pa rin si mama sa akin. So, ayun, at that time, I've been, parang hindi ako nakapag-experience na sariling pagpunta dito, pagpunta doon. Laging may kasama. And because of that, for me right now, parang hindi ko na kayang mag-initiate in certain situation like pagbabayad ganun, pagpunta sa malayo, laging may gusto akong kasama eh. Kasi I don't know how to do things on my own. And for you kasi 'di ba, as an only child before, you've been subjected to, being in responsibility. And I can see that to my older brother too. So, ask ko lang rin pa, may younger sister ka ba?
Yes, actually. So, ayun nga, as I mentioned, di ba, I grew up as an only child. Pero, when I was 14 kasi, I was super blessed, to have a little sister. Pero, ayun, since I was 14 na at that time, the change was actually kind of sudden, ganon. Pero, it doesn't take away the fact kasi na, my formative years were spent as an only child. So, it's like the foundation of who I am was built on, being alone, being responsible for everything, especially for myself. So, when, my sister came, it was like, it was scary kasi parang, it's another thing I have to be responsible for, pero this bears, a bigger weight kasi, of course, she's my sister, she's my family, and at first, it was a bit difficult to settle into the new family dynamic. But, I guess, I could add na my sister was, became my light too. Kasi, nakita ko din na, there are certain changes in myself that I had to make sure na, my sister grows up with an older sister that is, that she can rely on. And she grows up showing or seeing that it's okay to be responsible, to be a strong leader, and at the same time still know how to ask for help from others.
So ayun, as you've mentioned, as an elder sister, it's very hard. And as an observation, as a younger sister to the older brother, napansin ko rin talaga na they bear the weight of so many responsibility. Kasi yung kuya ko right now, he bears all the responsibility to me, to my family's financial needs. Wala pa siyang trabaho, pero yun, siya yung nag-aasikaso ng lahat ng papeles, mga pagbabayad, and I can see that he have a very hard time since he's in college too, and computer science yung tinitake niya right now. So, ang dami nilang projects, ang daming coding, and he don't have the time. And not only to my family, but to my relatives as well. Medyo napapansin ko talaga na ang dami niyang inaasikaso, and I can't do nothing that much. Since, ayun nga, wala talaga kasi akong experience when it comes to taking the responsibility of something big, especially when it comes to, like, hospitals, ganon. Need ko talaga kasi nung unang, tinawag ko agad si kuya kung anong gagawin. So, ayun yung napansin ko. I've become too dependent to someone that I can do something on my own. And I really want to change that. Especially since we are already in college and we're taking on a next stepping stone, which is being independent on your own because you can have a job. Ayun na, doon na parang new life na. You will let go of being dependent on your family and start building a life on your own. And I'm very scared for my future kasi I don't think that I can handle or be that capable when it comes to an independent adult. Kasi nga, I've grown to be so dependent on others. So, ayun. I'm really proud of my brother nga pala, if you're watching this.
Wow, may pa-shout out.
Although na hindi mo ko tinutulungan sa mga school works. Kasi nga, ewan ko sa'yo. Pero yun, I'm still proud of you. And if you hear this, wala kang narinig. Ay, pero yun.
If you hear this, you didn't hear this.
Oo,
So mga parang complementary pala kayong dalawa. So, you two can learn a thing or two from each other, diba?
Yes po.
Over-dependence, over-independence, over-dependence.
We're very,
There's a balance.
Same,
Yes, it's a balance for us kasi ayun, kunyari sa akin, I try to where sa schoolworks namin parang yung solo lang, gano'n, very silent. Pero Kate is always there to, reach out na parang, is there something I can help you with, gano'n. And I can hear her laughing here. Pero it's true actually kasi every time na kunyari, I even show the slightest hint of struggle, she's always there to offer help, yung ganon. And I really appreciate that as someone who, still sometimes struggles with asking for it.
So, yun. Ayun rin. In my part, actually, parang role model kita eh. Hindi mo to narinig sa akin. Pero yun, kasi nung una kitang nakilala, since, very shy, kala mo hindi magiging close in the future. Pero yun, nung napansin ko yung works mo, when you're delivering an information, when you're speaking up, the things you do, in regards in gathering information, organizing stuff, alam mo yun, parang oo nga, mas maayos to. Parang gusto kong gayahin yung ginagawa mo since, kasi for me, I still lack in so many things. When it comes to speech delivery, in organizing group works, and nung napansin ko, since magkakaibigan tayo, lagi tayong magkaka-group, kapag sinabing group yourself na lang, and wala nang numbering.
It's automatic, gano'n.
Ayun, parang talaga na very organized ka, and I really want that, yung parang i-adapt yung ganong way. Since, it's been also my struggle during my, leadership in grade 11 and grade 12. Since ang daming errors na nangyayari na mapapansin ko lang after ng reporting, after mapasa. Then, ayun, or kung hindi naman ganun, parang may kulang pa na gusto kong maidagdag pero hindi ko siya naidagdag in that time. So, ayun, I really, look up on how you work. Hello, hindi siya.
Okay. Pero, Kuya Luis, this is actually, like, a genuine example na of what I said kanina na, our light can also depend on our solid support systems. Kasi, ayun nga, even though we grew up in a very different way, diba? We can compromise na we meet each other halfway. So there are things na I can learn from her, and there are things that she can learn from me. And while we do that, kahit unknowingly, we heal certain parts of ourselves, diba? And ayun, I really hope na for our listeners din, meron din silang, support system, yung kaya nilang makausap, and actually, kahit nga hindi nila makausap diba? There's a certain comfort din kasi in the silence, diba? In being silent and still being sure na there's love there's affection. And, I really hope na all of our listeners have that as well.
That's good. That's very good, guys. And ayun nga, na-demonstrate nyo na live what both of you have come to find as a light to your guys' darkness. So that's incredible, guys. Ako naman, kasi only child ako so I cannot provide the similar types of discussions as you guys do. But I feel like this gives me a peek into what it would have actually been like if I never found any form of light. Now, okay, prepare ko na kayo a bit, and not necessarily a need for any disclaimer. However, my experiences do not present themselves in a very positive note. But it's still a very, I guess to some it might be light, but to me, it was one of the harder experiences that I had to go through. because when I think about the darkness in this entire situation, I can only think of one scenario of mine that really pulled me down so much na it came to a point wherein I started to question my very own capacity as a person. Kinwestiyon ko yung kapasidad kong makagawa or maka-achieve. All the things that I thought I knew about myself, parang naisip ko, hindi ata totoo. I won't specify the details, but I will discuss it like this. I was a member, and I was happy being a member. In this membership that I had, I was given instructions by the leaders. These leaders told me what to do, what not to do, and I thrived from that. I was learning from that. A couple weeks into vacation, I got a message telling me na you have to be a leader. And under my own obligations, or maybe I could have denied it because at the time I really thought I'm not ready. There's no way for me to be a leader. Hindi ko kaya. And in my past experience of being a leader, kahit sa mga classroom setting lang, it never ended well in my personal opinion. Let's say in a research, laging nag-end up in cramming or poor performance, and I cannot help but see na it is because of my leadership na hindi sila progress in the way that I'd want it. Given that that's a very subjective perception, i-disclaimer na lang, it's a very subjective perception. Syempre, there are other variables that could have affected that, pero for me at the time, it felt so targeted na ako yung reason kung bakit hindi nagana yung mga stuff na ako nagli-lead. Why things become so delayed, why things become so out of hand or not as productive as I would have wanted it to be. So going back, I was put to be a leader, particularly because one, we ran out of people who are eligible to be the leader, and two, because out of everyone, I had the remaining skill sets to lead this certain project. After this, it became a downward spiral, and I tried everything that I could. Nandun ako sa part na naging obsession siya para sa akin. How do I become a better leader? Yun na lang yung napasok sa akin. I was taking seminars. I was doing this. I was doing that. I tried to be inspiring. I tried to be motivational. But for some reason, I never felt like I reached anyone. And this might be a very personal thing. And I, of course, never ko malalaman yung opinions ng people na nililid ko. Pero at that part of my life, it was really dark. Who do I ask and give me precisely what I need to hear? If I ask my members kasi, I doubt that it would be anything that is fully critical unless I really explicitly ask for it. At the time, it would probably go around like, no, it's not your fault, ganito, ganyan, maybe ganito. And I couldn't take that for myself. Kasi I know what it is. I know what a good leader is. I see that. I've been a member to a good leader. Kita ko kung paano siya nagawa. And I cannot emulate it. It was super dark. And it reached a point where that obsession became a curse in a way. It made me fear the idea of leading. And I couldn't find a way up. And I'm trying here. I try to apply what Kate does, which is see the obstacle, climb up. I'm not climbing. Nahuhulog lang ulit ako. I try to maybe reduce my self-independence, ask for help. It's not really getting the results that I need. And I don't know who else to reach out to. I don't know where else to get the means to just get myself out of this situation. Pero at the same time, I know that if I quit, it would mean a bad thing because there are people relying on me na. And throughout all of that, hindi ko alam kung ano uunahin ko, yung yung sarili ko ba na medyo nasa-stress na at sinasabing, di ko na kaya? Or do I think about those who are looking to me for guidance pero hindi ko mapigay? And, and on that dilemma, let's say I broke down from that. I had this really, really stressful time. And although my words cannot justify what that feels like, and I really hope the audience does not have to go through something like that. All I'll say is that dun pa lang sa moment na yun naniwala ako that there is indeed light after darkness. And it's never gonna be always dark. Because at the time I thought it was. I thought it was the end. Like, I feared for my life. Parang ganun. Over-exaggerating. Pero there was a light. And it didn't come in the way that I thought it would. Let's just say that the light was to give up. Maybe that's not the term. But give up in a way where the light was actually to remove myself from the ideas and the thoughts that I was in. I had the chance to hear this thing from a professor talking about leadership. And sinabi nila that a leader is someone who is ready to devote all of their time and all of their being to their members, to the point wherein they no longer have time to think for themselves. That to my professor is what it means to be a leader. And I believed it. Kasi nakita ko kung paano kumikilos ang mga leaders ko. They only see the members and how they can help them move as one. And I realized to myself, I could not do that. And even if I tried, I couldn't. And sure, of course, dun parang kinwestiyon ko na, selfish ba ako? Like, am I a bad person for not being able to be selfless like that? And I realized this one thing. It's simply that it wasn't my time to be a leader. Why was I thriving as a member? Because I enjoyed the thought of growth. I enjoyed learning so many new skills. And to be a leader would be for me to stop myself from learning those things. And I guess never ko lang na-realize that until now, na I actually needed to be honest with myself na now is not my time. I know that maybe to others, I'm a good leader. Maybe to them, they see that it is. I am doing well. But for me to have this amount of conflict just shows that now is not the time. So for my part, my light was the realization that the solution, the light should not necessarily always be a solution. That it can just be a brand new path. Instead of getting at the end of that cave, baka may emergency exit muna. Parang ganun. And nung na-realize ko yun, nagkaroon ako ng ginhawa na never ko naramdaman for like a month now. And na-realize ko na, okay, it's time for me to focus back on myself. Get the things that I want to do done first. Have myself fully grow and enjoy the things that I need to enjoy first, so that when the time comes that I need to devote myself to another group of people, I'm 100% ready, because not only will I be able to give them my 100%, pero yung 100% na gain ko para sa sarili ko, pwede ko pang ibigay. And in turn, I can hopefully also give my members a 100% for themselves. Ang dami ko, Sam. Thank you. Nag-TED Talk ako bigla. Ayun.
Grabe. You know, yeah, I definitely relate to that. Kasi, syempre, you know, the chaos of finding balance between between who you are to yourself and who you are to other people is always, it's cruel and it's confusing. And at some points, it's absolutely shattering. You know, parang hindi mo na talaga nakikita yung sarili mo without the lens of other people's perspectives. Pero I just want to backtrack po. You mentioned something about, you know, yung feeling mo po, hindi ka na hindi ka nakakapag-reach sa other members as a leader, maybe that's because po you really reach to them as a member, and yung sabi niyo nga po, that's okay. Not everyone is just hardwired to be a leader all of the time, di ba? And you mentioned na you once tried the Kate's approach, looking at the problem as like a mountain, is that right? And then trying to climb it up. And then you felt na parang wala kang napupuntahan, you couldn't go anywhere. I just want to add na I'm sure everybody has felt at some point, especially yung sa listeners din natin, sa viewers natin. I just want to say na if you're stuck in a rut somewhere, if you feel like you're not progressing, you don't have the means to climb up that mountain, then maybe it's time to think about the fact na siguro hindi ka gumagalaw because you're exactly where you need to be. Like that.
Wow.
Kasi sa atin, meron tayong perspective na parang ang progress, ibig sabihin nun, from point A to point B, ganon, di ba? Pero kasi, pwede din naman na yung progress natin is from this small, timid circle to something bigger, as we grow around ourselves, hindi away from ourselves, ganon. So, yun, I just really want to share that kasi progress is different for everybody. And just because other people look like they're getting ahead of you does not mean you're being left behind.
Life's not a race.
Life's not a race. At some point, you have to realize na you're not standing still. You're not stuck in this situation, in this place. You're not standing still. You are lying in wait. You are waiting for your opportunity. You are waiting for your time to grow, for your time to shine. Kasi meron talagang dadating sa atin na oras para dyan eh. Kasi as you've said po, Kuya Luis, maybe it's not your time to be a leader, but it doesn't mean na na hindi ka magkakaroon ng time na yon. So maybe you can use this nga po as a means to improve yourself, to focus on yourself better. So when your time comes, you won't have to go back to doubting yourself and stuff. Kasi secure ka na sa sarili mo. So when you're secure, you can help others feel secured and feel safe as well.
Had I heard that years before, I would have had saved myself a lot of the crying. So thank you so much for sharing that pa rin. That really, parang naparamdam ko kay past self na merong umabot sa kanya. So thank you so much for that. That's really nice. Wow. And I hope this has the same effect to our listeners that might have a similar experience right now. Just to hear that and to realize, that it's alright, it's all good.
Ayun. Add ko lang rin po na you think it was selfish to give up that leadership. But I don't think, maybe for some, it might be selfish. But for me, if something keeps hurting you, it's not bad to let go. If it's not for you, then that's okay. Ayun nga, yung sabi niyo nga po, it's much better for you to be a member rather than a leader. And that's fine. You don't need to push yourself to become something that you don't need to, that you don't want to. If you're fine with where you are, then you can stay there. Maybe by time, maybe you can try again. And if it fails, then maybe that's where you need to be. Ayun yung sabi mo kanina. Na hindi naman na laging yung progress is from point A to B. Maybe, kung nasan tayo ngayon, maybe that is our place na. Since, ayun nga, we don't have to push ourselves too hard just to, parang ma-validate mo yung sarili mo na baka nga may kulang to, baka need ko pa i-push to, baka meron pang ways. And you tried that ways. You tried so many things, but it still didn't work. Then maybe that thing is not for you. And that's fine. Ayun lang yung message ko talaga na, ayun nga, yung keeping up with an image, yung mga kwento natin na, you don't need to push yourself to be something that people expect you to be. Ayun nga, di ba? Na yung kay Kuya Luis nga na parang dahil nga dun may siya anong tawag doon? May capacity siya na maging leader. But the thing is, he didn't want to be. He's not ready yet eh. And ayun, na-challenge siya doon. And yung na yun, very stressing na eh. Napapansin mo ba yung sa mga Facebook na parang images na yung may kutsilyo, na parang nag-hold on to the, yung ganun.
Yeah.
Oo.
Well, disclaimer, sorry for that sudden.
Ay, so, nga, sorry.
Sudden mental imagery, but yeah.
Yung mga images na nakahawak ka lang sa patalim, na parang, the only thing you need to do is to let go in order to heal, ganon, in order to, ayun na, to get back up. Then maybe, ayun yung sabi, maybe there's other way. Maybe there's new path for yourself. Ayun lang.
Yeah, I agree. Kasi ganun eh. Sometimes, kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng, nasasanay na tayo in a certain thing, kahit nasasaktan na, we can't seem to let go. Kasi nga, wala, nasanay na tayo.
Tama.
Pero kasi there is a certain danger in running against the clock of somebody else's, di ba?
That's an amazing talk with all of you, and I hope our listeners were able to absorb some information and will help them to find the light in the darkness, no?
Yes, partner, grabe. I really enjoyed our talk today. Grabe yung insights na nakuha ko from both of you. So, thank you for that.
And to the listeners who may have experienced a certain darkness in the duration of this podcast, don't worry, the light is back. Charot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will see you again soon. Goodbye, guys. Have a good day.
Bye!